Hello, hello, hello. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Welcome back to the channel, my people. I hope everyone's doing well and everyone is fine. And today, as you can see from the title, we're going to discuss about becoming the main character. But it's going to be a slightly different format of content I'm going to display to you guys today. As not only I want to explain to you my different points, but I'm going to physically show you them. So let's get into it. So as you can see, right here on the left, we have the different criterias of becoming the main character of your life. You know, taking accountability for your actions, socializing, so improving your social skills, mastering your inner peace, so things like meditating, stuff like that. Be fearless with any outcome or anything that's challenging you. Leveling up, so always self-improvement and coming out your comfort zone. So as you can see, we got a picture of Mike Tyson, you know, the alpha male, top of the food chain in the savannah. And as you can see on the right, picture of a G, where he's living it up because he's worked hard and he's now reaping the rewards of his success. So we're going to go on the first slide now. So we're going to talk about coming out your comfort zone. So don't be a sheep and try and fit in. So don't try and always blend in with people and be afraid of being yourself and walking on eggshells, because you know that isn't content enough. You know, you shouldn't have to walk on eggshells, and a lot of people live in fear on different things. I myself used to be like this when I was younger. I really was a bit of a sheep, a bit of a people pleaser. um and you know, it's not right to be like that in a day, because you're not respected by anybody. You know, people don't fully trust you because of, like, you're not showing your true colors to an extent, and you're just not remembered and respected. You know, I said this before about like spiders in the corner of the room and no one gives a fuck about them, but like people don't always necessarily like crocodiles, but they respect them because they're fearless, you know, apex predators. So that's one thing to bear in mind. Learn a new skill. So always try to learn something new. You know, don't be stuck in your old ways. Learn a new skill, perhaps a new language or an instrument. Um, Learn some knowledge on new things, perhaps. Learn to use a new trade, perhaps, like fixing something, or become a mechanic, or different skills that you could pick up. Travel to a new country. So as you can see, I got an arrow pointing to me climbing up the Atlas Mountains in Northern Africa. I went there about a year ago, and that was really good fun. I was really stepping out of my comfort zone because I had never climbed up a mountain before. Not only to mention, this was in the hot, in the heat, you know, so it was quite challenging, but I really enjoyed it, and it was really like something coming out of my comfort zone. And you can see above the picture of the tiger, and it's like an anime picture and a man, where you know you're conquering or challenging an obstacle ahead and embracing it. And you can see the cold weather isn't pleasant, as you can see. Try an activity you wouldn't do. So that's like what I said, similar to what a new skill set is. You know, try an activity that you haven't tried before. Perhaps you wanted to go and do a skydive. Personally, it's not for me, but other people might want to do it. That's something that a lot of people like to do, which is like a very unusual activity, skydiving. Talking to women. So that's something I used to be very shook of doing, which was, you know, just going on a cold approach and approaching a woman and talking to them, or perhaps just in general socializing with women more. You know, you actually develop your social skills. At the end of the day, even if a woman isn't interested in you, or she friend zones you to an extent, there's nothing wrong with still being friends with a woman, where you can improve your social skills with a woman. So when you actually go and talk to a woman who's more sexually attracted to you, it can be more smooth state sailing, and you don't say something that she would not approve of, or you don't like make yourself look like a mug, you know. Now, being confident in your appearance, you know, be yourself at the end of the day. You know, dress how you want, dress what you want to look and do, you know. Don't let people judge you on how you dress or how you look, you know. And learn to embrace insecurities. If you've got something you're insecure about, embrace it, you know. Embrace how perhaps your hair might be, or whatever things. Learn to embrace insecurities and turn it into a positive thing. And last but not least, learn to let things go. So don't like hold grudges. Don't, you know, try and hate on people or resent people. Perhaps things in the past didn't go your way, or someone might have disrespected you in the past. Move on from it. You know, what is done is done. It's over. It's done with. You keep moving forward, because if you just procrastinate on things, you're never going to grow. You're just going to always harbor these feelings. So next up on the slide, we got taking accountability for your actions. So as you can see, we got, just a picture there to make it in a more of a graphic detail for you guys to see. So if you make a mistake, own up to it. People respect you more if you just own up to your mistakes. Too many people don't take accountability for their actions, and they want to always find excuses. Just own up to a mistake you made. If you fucked up, just say, you're like, listen guys, I'm sorry, or listen, whatever you've done wrong, just say sorry, put your hands in the air. People more than likely going to respect you more and appreciate you being honest about yourself. Don't lie, don't try and gatekeep, just own up to yourself. Always make decisions rationally, no matter the situation. So you're in a stressful circumstance or stressful situation. Let's say a girl's trying to get on your skin, or she's shit testing you. Make the rational decision. Don't feed into the emotional roller coaster and argue with her or shout, or somebody else that's pissing you off. Learn to kill them with kindness to an extent. Walk away or ignore them. Give them the silent treatment, put them on the naughty step. More than likely, people tend to ponder and overthink after the situation's ended, and then a lot of time people, if they are in the wrong or done something, they'll come back and say sorry. So always be rational, and also in stressful situations, don't feed into the emotions of something bad's happening. Just stay cool, calm, and collective, and compose, and keep moving forward. Don't make excuses for yourself. So following from the last one, always be accountable for your actions. Always own up to yourself. Never blame other people or other situations because of a fuck up that you might have done, or something that's happened, because what is done is done. You can't change it. And if you just honest yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and just take accountability, you will be more content in yourself. Learn to take constructive criticism on the chin. So if someone's telling you something that they might not agree with, if they could be right, they might be right on certain things, and you've got to listen to them and appreciate what they're saying, and say you're right, maybe I could have done it this way. Or if you don't agree with that person and they're going to you constructive criticism, just counter them and tell them, listen, I appreciate what you're saying, but I still think it could have been done this way better. And that's all it has to be. You don't need to fuel into an argument and escalate to an argument from constructive criticism, because so many people got such fragile egos these days, that they tend to just want to not take constructive criticism on the chin. Don't always try and be the center of attention. At the end of the day, there's millions of people in this world. Not everything's about you. Some people are in worse situations than you. Some people are in better situations than you. Learn to stay humble and stay hungry at the end of the day. Being the center of attention isn't always a good thing, because it shows arrogance, and arrogance can be good to an extent, but not too much arrogance, So it's not good to always try and be the guy that talks the loudest in the room, or be the loudest person at the party, or at the venue, or whatever you're doing. It's not all about you. Let other people speak, come up for air, and learn from other people. When you're the center of attention, that's usually a person that's either been brought up with no discipline from learn how to share, perhaps not knowing how to share things and knowing what to do in that situation. And people who are also surrounded by yes men, people who always want to tell you things that you want to hear to make yourself feel better about yourself. That isn't always a good thing at the end of the day. And don't try and be a know-it-all. So it's okay to not be the smartest person in the room. You want to be around winners, and you want to be around people that want to appreciate your time and appreciate you for who you are. And a lot of people don't like it when you're a person that always thinks your opinion is right and everybody else is wrong, and you don't even back up facts in what you're saying half the time. And then people wonder why, and you wonder why people maybe distance themselves from you, or don't want to be friends with you or talk to you anymore, because you don't let other people have their opinions to come forward, and you always think you're right. So yeah. Moving on to the next slide. So, being fearless. So as you can see on the top left, we have a jaguar in the Amazon literally killing a caiman. He's fearless. As you can see, caimans are also top of the food chains. You know, they're dinosaurs. They're related to crocodiles. But the jaguar doesn't give a fuck, as you can clearly see in his eyes. Does that guy look like he gives a shit? I don't think he fucking does, mate. He's probably jumped in the water too and taken that caiman out in his own fucking backyard, in his own environment. You know, the jaguar's adapted to being on the land, mostly. The caimans live in the water, and he didn't give a fuck. He's like, nah, I gotta go and eat. I'm a bit shook, but it's gotta be done. What needs to be done has gotta be done, and I'm gonna go in there and fuck this brother up. And that's exactly what he's gone and done. So learn a form of self-defense. So as you can see, I got an arrow pointing to me and some sparring partners from the boxing gym I used to train at. And, you know, like I say, self-defense is so important for your confidence and for becoming a main character. You don't need to walk on eggshells. You don't need to be in fear of people. The self-defense gives you a level of confidence, which is unparalleled. Obviously, it takes a certain person to think like that at the same time. Some people do become more of a bully from self-defense, but that's a very small minority. You know, majority of people will be humble from training because you get humbled. You train with people that are better than you. You train with people that are worse than you. What goes around comes around. You win some, you lose some. Learn a practical skill. So, you know, want to learn a skill set that you're good at. Perhaps you're good at fixing bikes, or you want to get better at fixing bikes. Perhaps you're a mechanic. Perhaps you're a window fitter or carpenter. These are all like practical skills that are useful as a man to become a main character, because you don't want to have to always rely on other people to fix something when you can do something yourself. Confront the problem head on and don't be afraid. So like the jaguar, he wasn't afraid, right? So as you can see on the bottom right corner of this photo, there's a warrior, and he had slaughtered multiple soldiers, and he clearly was outnumbered, but he confronted the problem and he came out successful and on top. So yeah, don't be afraid of anything, and embrace that fear. Embrace it. Embrace being alone. Don't expect to seek validation from people, especially women. That's something very important when I said especially women. So many men out there these days, they want to seek validation from women, which is not ideal. Women see that as a weakness. They don't like that when a guy is always validating himself. Maybe he talks about himself too much, or perhaps he's comparing himself to other people. That just shows people, and women especially, that you're just insecure in yourself and you're not content in yourself, and people can't respect that, because I personally don't. Embrace change and don't always follow the same routines. I used to be bad with this. I used to like routines. I didn't like change. I was afraid of change. I feared change, but it's necessary to have change in life, because you're not going to grow and level up. You're not going to, you know, improve as a man if you just stick to your old ways. You know, stick to the same people you hang around with, the same habits. All these things chronologically join together. And that's why you need to embrace change, because change is good. Sometimes it's bad, but most of the time it's good. We always want to change and better ourselves. So now we're going to level up. So as you can see, there's a guy in the gym. There's a picture of a sheep, half wolf, where you got the bad people on the left and the sheep's on the right. And how you can give into temptation and manipulation and not standing up for yourself and being your own man. As you can see, the wolf/sheep doesn't really know what he's doing. Like, he's kind of in the middle of things, and he's letting other people dictate his actions and opinions, which is not right. Don't let anyone dictate what you should think and what you should say. So always improve to your financial situation. Always improve in your finances. Keep finding ways to make more money, because at the end of the day, we don't live in Stone Age times now. So simply having metal and iron and making a spear doesn't matter anymore. It's all about money nowadays, I'm afraid, because that's how you get more things. You get more privileges with more money. You get a better gym if you've got more money. You fast track a ride at a theme park if you've got more money. You eat better food if you've got money. And you can travel and get more life experiences if you have more money. Working out in the gym regularly, you know, that's pretty no-brainer. That's like a standard thing. Everyone should be working out. Confidence. People look at your character, and it shows a lot about your character if you train regularly. It shows that you're disciplined and you value yourself. Having a healthy and clean diet. You are what you eat. You are what you put in. Know what nothing's wrong with cheat meals here and there, but for the most part, eat clean, eat healthy, because you'll feel better about yourself, you'll look better, your skin will be better, and then, you'll have more energy and just have a better life. Living day to day with healthy habits. So, try not to drink regularly, try not to do drugs, try and not watch porn and do degenerate things like smoke cigarettes, live a very healthy, content habit, read books, have a structure, have a routine. Don't like even things like making your bed up in the morning. It's a very good habit to have. Like, I'm sorry, shame on you guys if you don't make your bed up in the morning, because that's like the first thing you should do when you get up. Make your bed. It shows structure and discipline and organization when you make your bed up. Like, you go in someone's house and their bed isn't made up, it just shows they're scruffy. Living a day to day. Oh, I already went through that. Get rid of old baggage. So, like what the arrow is pointing to the sheep. Like, there are old people or old friends or old habits that might be pulling you back. You got to learn to let it go. You've got to move on from it at the end of the day, guys. You can't just keep procrastinating and clinging on to things and people that maybe not be having your best interest anymore. Not everyone has good intentions. Not everybody has good intentions. So get rid of that old baggage, and trust me, guys, you would feel a lot more better. That's for sure. Mastering your inner peace. So, as you can see, we've got nature. We've got a nice wilderness forest. It looks like Vancouver. Could be anywhere. It could be Siberia, but it looks beautiful, right? Appreciating nature. That's something I appreciate. I love going on walks in the forest. I love going for runs in the forest. I love nature. I love animals. And I just appreciate the planet that we live on. This planet's been around for millions of years, long before we evolved as mammals. And we've got to learn to love and respect it, Protect your energy at all costs. So protect your energy from people and temptations. Don't let people put you down. Don't let people violate you, disrespect you. Don't feed into arguments and bad energy from people. Don't bite the carrot and take the bait, right? Check people. Be confident in yourself. Tell people, I don't agree with that. Push comes to shove and someone wants to throw hands because you've been training in the gym like I hope you have been, and been training in self-defense. You can deal with everything accordingly. Don't let situations counter your emotions. So yeah, don't get emotional over, let's say a girl doesn't text you back. Don't get emotional about it. She's more than likely shit testing you. If a girl reads you off, give it 3 or 4 days and then text her back, and if she doesn't reply back to you again, then it's clearly obvious she doesn't want you anymore. She's got other options, and just move on. Know your worth. Yeah, know your worth and who you are. Don't try and change who you are to impress friends or women or anybody. Meditate, just have time to sit down, relax, breathe, and just get deep in your own thoughts. Put the phone down, turn off all this stimulating shit, because we live in such an overstimulating world. Go into a forest somewhere or retreat or in your room and just stare and think to yourself. Self-meditation is so important because you know yourself more than anybody in the day. Some people don't know themselves because they just don't meditate enough. Get out the cities and experience nature. There's more to life than parties, guys, yeah? Like, I had a friend that he fucking loved the clubs and shit, but he didn't want to go. Like, sometimes it'd be like a sunny day and I'd be like, let's go to the forest and go for a walk, and he'd be like, nah, I want to go to the beach, there's no girls in the forest. And I'm like, bro, there's more to life than women, Like, experience and appreciate the nature that God's given us, Get out there and embrace it. The fresh air, the oxygen. You get so much pollution and shit in the atmosphere in cities. It's not good for your lungs. Socializing. So going to social events. As you can see on the right, this is me there, and then my friends that I work out with. We went to like a outdoor workout area. It's just positive people, positive energy, positive vibes. People in the same track as you, other like-minded men. That's a good way, going to social events like training with people, going to join a sports team or social club, talking to people you wouldn't usually talk to, say good morning to people randomly. Like, it's a nice gesture. It's not enough people say good morning or good afternoon or hello to people these days. People just walk past and everyone looks all stiff and stressed. And even if there's a shopkeeper that's serving you food or something, just have a little conversation, ask how their day's going, because trust me, a couple of words can go a long way for certain people, and it means a lot to a lot of people. Know what to say and how to say it. and to get what you want in life. You can't, if you want something, you can't be rude to somebody. If you want something, you've got to learn to sweet talk people, learn how to convince people why you should be, your opinion matters, or what you think should happen. Just be confident in yourself and just know what to say to the right people. So that's it, guys. That's basically a summary on becoming the main character in life. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the style of video I delivered. It's slightly different as I usually do camcorders, but I just wanted to just physically show you guys my PowerPoint I made so you guys can physically see different pictures and bullet points on why these different chronological points mean and matter to becoming the main character. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Let's get it!